Hey everybody, Want to Wisdom here. I've got to preface this by saying I am extremely tired, but when I actually pulled up the recording device earlier tonight, it had audio, so figured I'd capitalize on it. This whole week it's actually not done that. You basically just have to restart the computer till it does. Needless to say, I've gotten a lot uploaded. I think Monday I got the rest of the unboxings done. I just uploaded the fat pack opening of the trading cards, and then tonight, fittingly enough, I recorded that Monday, of course, but then tonight my Toys R Us actually had the like legendary starter set for the trading cards. So anyway, I uploaded that. I'll see if people are into it, but here we are. This will be part 62. I have just completed what we missed, chapters 9 through 12, and then interesting note, when I came in on this save file, like I said, basically done everything through chapter 12 minus the time goals in any of those levels. Haven't begun chapter 13, but we're at the 50% completion mark, so kind of thought that was cool. Nonetheless, I've got Bouncer here still on the portal from last time. Picked up the treasure and whatnot. We're actually going to pull him, and got a finder here. The first one we unboxed that we've yet to introduce is legendary Stealth Elf.
Silently.
Okay, so new heroic, 5 life Skylanders collected. Good lord, just right out of the box, she's still fast. But have to say, as far as like the blue and the gold, like it looks horrible on some of them. But Stealth Elf actually suits her pretty well. I mean, granted, I think I'm still going to be partial to her, like, Forest Ninja attire, just wearing the green. But the blue and the gold with her actually, kind of fits her pretty well. That said, like I was saying, just nothing done to her. I literally have unboxed her. She's been sitting on a pool table. Just stuck her on the portal, and I mean, you can just tell. Granted, I've upgraded no one on this game yet, but she's just insanely quick without anything done to her. That said, we're gonna come in. I'm not quite sure what she said there. Sounds like they tweaked her voice just a little, maybe. Take a look at her base stats here. Max health 270, speed 50. Again, that's pretty dadgum respectable right out of the box. Armor 18, that's her low point. Critical hit 70. Heroics, you can see zeros there. Elemental power, instead of at 25, our base beginning point note, she's already at 53. In large part because we've got 5 element Skylanders registered. We'll come in now. Yeah, I really wish they'd elaborate on this, the quest, but we'll deal with that later on. Got a nice animated sequence here. But her upgrades. First upgrade, slice your enemies up with a pair of sharp blades. Second one is stealthier decoy. Disappear completely, but leave behind a decoy image that enemies are drawn to. Next up, it seems like that would be better than the flippin' Scarecrow. It's been so long. I mean, Stealth Elf for me has been upgraded, for so freaking long from Spyro's Adventure. Kind of forgot about that, but I mean, in my opinion, it seems like you should start with a Scarecrow. I know the Scarecrow's attack if you go down that path, but it'd be kind of cool if she had like that double like we see there. Anyway, Straw Pook Scarecrow. A Scarecrow appears in place of your decoy and distracts enemies. Next up is the Dragon Fang Dagger. Blades do increase damage. Then we've got Sturdy Scarecrow. Scarecrows last longer and take more damage to destroy. And lastly, before we pick a path, we have her Arboreal Acrobatics. Press Z to perform a quick acrobatic move. That, of course, comes in very, very handy. Coupled with her speed right out of the box, when you have her tertiary attack, which in this case, basic move is just a jump. Just covers the ground that much quicker. Now we get to the point where you pick a path. This is one, obviously last time I took her down Poop Blade Saint, I think is what we call it. But it's basically your primary attack upgrade. It begins with Elf Jitsu. It's funny, not many people ever use the poison spores, but in all honesty, you don't really need to if you take this path because she's just in beast mode. But Elf Jitsu, you've got two options here. Press AA, hold B for the poison spores you see there, and AA, hold Z for Blade Fury. If you recall, that's one of those things that usually registers combo instantaneously. When you're trying to do the speed runs, or at least for me when I was trying to do speed runs in Spyro's Adventure, as I would be jumping, sometimes you would inadvertently, when you kind of had to take out a few enemies or something, register that. It would slow you down a little bit, but it's pretty effective. Next up is the Elven Sunblade. This is kind of what she's holding in this repose. Blade attack does even more increased damage. Again, I'd hoped we'd get solid numbers, not just have to like go upgrade by upgrade and fish them out, but it looks cool nonetheless. And lastly, down Poop Blade Saint, we have Shadow's Bane Blade Dance. Magical blades fight alongside you. This is basically, when you purchase this upgrade, there's like the 4 blades that kind of hover above you, 2 above, 1 to the right, 1 to the left. Just make her insanely, capable. Couple that with her soul gem, where she regenerates health, and she's one of the top tier, no question. Secondary path, which, now that she's in legendary form, interestingly, you can get her legendary form before we've actually had access to her just generic Series 2 pose. Don't know when that's coming out. It should be pretty soon since we got her legendary. This is just one, most of the time I like to, or I plan to take this other path to kind of see what it's all about. That's the great thing with the Series 2, you don't have to like totally reset your character and give up everything. That said, she's just so dadgum good down Poop Blade Saint. I can't imagine Force Ninja, which I always thought that was a misleading name. A lot of people probably think the Blade upgrade was Force Ninja, but anyway, it begins with Scarecrow Trio. 3 scarecrows are created in place of your decoy, and then Scarecrow Booby Traps. Scarecrows explode and damage enemies. And then lastly, we have these Scarecrow Spin Slashers. Scarecrows have axes and do extra damage to enemies. That might make it worthwhile, but just me and the way I play, I really can't see that path at all coming anywhere close to the primary upgrade. That said, similar to kind of like what we see with Stump Smash and some others. Soul Gem, Sylvan Regeneration, regenerate health over time. So, as you're speeding along, slaughtering everything on the screen with your fully upgraded Stealth Elf, should you happen to take a hit, she regenerates health. So, similar to what we see in like the Elemental Zones this time, you get the +5. It's not quite as quick, but, it's basically just, extra frosting on the cake at this point in time. That said, the big draw to pick up Series 2 Stealth Elf for those of us, accustomed to SSA, is the Wow Pow power. What this one gives Stealth Elf is called Knife Blender. I'm trying to fight off a sneeze. Hold A to unleash a mega 360-degree knife slash attack. That looks like she's in Scarecrow form. I'm not sure if that's where she'll launch this maneuver from or not. That said, if she does, if it comes from a decoy or spawn scarecrows or something, just makes the primary path that much better. But that's Stealth Elf. Again, if you don't have Stealth Elf or you never bothered to pick her up last time, she came with a 3DS starter pack, but she's just, she's basically the quickest Skylander. I know with some you can do slides or tertiary moves, make them quick. Just generically speaking, if you're not going to do anything aside from like move the control stick, she's like a lightning bolt. On the flip side, you think maybe with that much speed you wouldn't be powerful. That's far from the case, at least with Poop Blade Saint. She's just incredible in story mode, also very good in battle mode for those that care about that. Nonetheless, what we're going to do now is kind of back out of here. The drill now. This will right there is her base attack. I mean, I'm just pressing it once. She basically uses both fists. There was a combo. I guess it dropped a ton of frames. There is her double. If you see the green eyes, that's actually us. You don't actually control the double. It just kind of goes in the direction you were traveling, but you control the eyes, and then she respawns when it wears off.
Let's do it.
That's it. We're gonna talk to Callie. Stealth Elf's Heroic Challenge last time around was a speed challenge. Can't remember. I know you were in like the troll battlefield area. Seems like you had to take teleporters. I don't. Trigger Happy's was the vanity one, and then I don't know. This one might have been the artwork one. We'll figure it out. Unless they've changed it, you know, they do that sometimes. So, thing we want to do is not pass her. There she is. Yeah, I think this is the same one. Minefield Mishap. Make it through the minefield warning. This is tough. So similar to what we saw with, no, we just passed him, Drobot. If you recall, he was a speed challenge, purple chompy. A lot of trouble people have with that one. But it was one of the, hey, this is tough ones. Stealth Elves, similarly, still has that designation as, hey, this is tough. So I think that's the Royal Scepter of Nort. We'll see if I'm right. This is one that I've played so many flipping times. You know, just because I did the speed challenges with, I mean, that was like the big draw for me, was making the characters quicker. Or you'd have a character that'd be very powerful, like say Stump Smash or something. The drawback with most of these characters is usually the lack of speed, or at least the way I play. And that said, you know, I got, you know, pretty accustomed to these. That said, haven't done them in a while. I remember it, but I don't really remember it. So might be a learning curve here, but we'll see if we can't get through it.
Oops. Looks like I've dropped you right
I
inside
think there's
a
a lot of
minefield.
troll gunners in
So
this
you'll
one.
need to be very careful as you make your way through it and try to find the Royal Scepter of Nort. We'll try to see you. They love the Scepter of Nort. That's probably why they stole it in the first place.
Ha.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so I nailed Royal Scepter of Nort. I used to go to the left, and then at some point in time, I started going this way. Apparently not. I thought that sounded like we were too far over. Anyway, this is where we want to be. And now you basically eliminate the trolls and the teleporter appears. And then we teleport and get going. Not quite sure how much time we had, but I'm guessing it was around like 2.5 minutes. I've got to say, Stealth Elf, again, box stock, just literally introduced her. She's just demolishing everything. I mean, very easy to do with her. So, that said, you know, I do pretty much remember this one now. So you can actually go this way. I guess we will. Can't really remember if you're supposed to or not. Sometimes you have to break these, like up here, you have to go to the side where it will be a minefield. And you're dropping a ton of frames. That said, I do remember where to go if we could get past that. And this is the end area. There were troll gunners up here. I actually kind of remember this. So I wasn't talking about the gunners. I was actually talking about the minefield maze. But, we've got enough time. I'm just gonna go eradicate whatever the heck is going on. You know, if you're using a slower character and trying to do this as one of the first ones, you may have to like play it a few times or something.
Heroic challenge complete.
If you've got time, I just generally like to go over there, you know, take them out, and get the XP. The thing you have to be careful with here is if they have low health and you run into too many mines, you'll actually, you know, be up a creek, you can die pretty easy. You know, particularly like characters trigger happy, low health. At least initially. I mean, once you learn it, you don't really have any trouble at all. But so good to see it's the exact same challenge. Really, I didn't see anything different at all about it. Stealth Elf blew through it, box stock, no upgrades. Wouldn't expect anything less from her. So the answer is nope. Somehow this dropped 138 for, I don't know how it did that. Anyway, I'll skip that. Since she's here and I like her, we'll let her pick up some of this stuff. And I guess it's like bonus that you get to see her break barrels or something. I don't know. I'd really like to record chapter 13 tonight, but I mean, it's really tired, so I think I'm gonna have to stop with, you know, basically the introductions of these other 3 characters. So I'm not actually gonna do Glow in the Dark or Sonic Boom Gold Flame Slinger. Note right here, this one's bubbling. Anytime you see that, you can actually hit that and, you know, get gems. So keep that in mind. That one was 25. And then every time I like to come out here, that one's up to 240. So it's really hard for me not having her upgraded. I keep like trying to jump to speed this up, but basically, like I say, anytime you complete something or come back to the ship, just go ahead and clear everything out. At least go for that big gem. You know, it helps out. As you can see, she got 280 already. So that's it. That was Legendary Stealth Elf. We covered her base stats, her upgrades, upgrade paths. Took out her heroic challenge pretty easy. So again, really one of the I don't know how to word it, but you know, like quintessential Skylanders. If you don't have her in your arsenal, I suggest you pick her up. I guess if you don't have Series 1 Stealth Elf, I'd just go ahead and pick up Series 2. Granted, it's not out yet, but Legendary is. So, bottom line, she's worth getting. You know, you can use the Series 2 in the first game. Her speed is amazing. It'll help you out big time in the time goals for each level. She's who I used exclusively for that stuff. And on top of that, like I've said, you would think that someone that's so speedy oriented would lack power or have low health or, you know, have some other shortcoming, and that's far from the case. She's pretty much anything and everything you could hope for. So you know, if you were building an arsenal of Skylanders on a budget or something, I would definitely have Stealth Elf in the mix. But for the sake of me not falling asleep and actually hopefully getting some sleep tonight, I'm going to end this one. We'll come back. I guess I'll just do them in order, so we'll have Drill Sergeant up next in part 63. But questions, comments, feel free to ask here on YouTube. However, for a much quicker response, I suggest you use the blog, oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. I also have a link straight to, you know, basically the rundown on the playlist or Stealth Elf right at the top of the video description. You can take that if you want to. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks for watching. This is about 10 seconds off here, my commentary compared to the recording, so this probably isn't going to sync up good, but basically all you need to know is Stealth Elf cleaned house, and we will catch you back for part 63.